going on, everybody? It's Friday. Who's here? Who's in the house? Who's hanging out with me? um, it's good. It's gonna be fun today. I have not a lot up top, but I have a big section for the end part. So I'll probably run my commercial break a tiny bit earlier, so I have more time at the end to go off. Camera looks okay. It's slightly cockeyed. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. As long as it doesn't overheat and the battery's not dead, which full battery today. So, can we autofocus on my thumb? No. My autofocus even on? Whatever. Who cares? Actually, I do care because I have something to share. Yeah, my autofocus is on. It's just not doing its job very well right now. Anyways. Off the top. Best way to support this channel: like, subscribe, share, comment, all of the normal stuff that you do with YouTube videos. Today, like and subscribe, but also check out wilddinosaur.com. I have t-shirt designs like this one. This is my No Friends on This Planet album art. You can get it on a t-shirt. I have tote bags. You guys have seen this one. I borrowed this from Linda from sales. This is Big Chief design that I made like 7 or 8 years ago. The handles come in different colors. You can get red, black, and yellow, I believe. The color schemes for the handles. So the tote bags look really good. Got all kinds of other stuff. But I'm doing one other thing that I've been trying to put together for a little bit now, and that is I'm putting together sticker packs. There's sticker packs you can, or there's individual stickers, vinyl stickers you can get through the website, but I've also gone ahead and made a separate order of this image. This is Family Vacation. This one is Wish You Were Here, and my no friends image. So I've ordered a bunch of those, and I'm putting these sticker packs together. So if you're interested, they're gonna be. I'm still working out the price scheme, somewhere in the $8 range, I think. If I have to ship them off, it might be a little bit more for shipping, but I'm putting these sticker packs together so I can get you guys, some of my images to throw up around town or on your notebooks or wherever. I have a bunch that I've had over the years that I put on my water bottle. There's some of these were from my old shop at Society 6, but there's No Friends. I forget what I called that one, but it's my computer background image. Some more Wild Dinosaur stuff. Depression. That one's called Depression. And then so I put mine on my water bottles, and that's not my only water bottle that I have my stickers on. So if you guys are interested in sticker packs at all, let me know, and we can figure out how to get you guys these stickers. Where's the bag? They'll be in these little bags. I'm really trying to get some traffic to my website, and some potential sales. The sticker packs I haven't set up through the store. Please direct message me if you're interested at all, and we'll get that off. Wow, yesterday was really fun. I had a really good time. I was a little bit nervous because something happened yesterday when I was live that I didn't quite expect yet. I think it was the title that definitely helped, but I went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder yesterday, and I did a non-spoilery reaction. So if you haven't checked it out, please go back to yesterday's episode. Check that out. And we had I first started seeing new people in the chat, and Derpy Gaming. Hey man, what's going on? Nice to have you back. Thanks for joining me again. I was just about to get into how excited I was yesterday that more people have started popping up. And it was just really cool. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm just a humble guy trying to make art and commentary, I guess. So I really appreciate everybody. Do you do movie reviews? I will be doing movie reviews. I'll be doing movie reviews as they come. Really, I hadn't really thought about doing a specific channel for. Well, I had a podcast where I used to do movie reviews and TV reviews and stuff, and I want this channel to be that as well. But Wild Dinosaur, the name Wild Dinosaur, is me, and it's been my artistic moniker forever. And so I'm hoping that this channel can be movie reviews, TV reviews, music reviews. I have friends that also do music, and we're music nerds, music gear nerds. I will probably do some stuff on various music gear that I have, pedals. I'm just looking around to see what I have here. My guitar's over there. I got my Mando helmet in the back. So I'm just kind of all over the place, but I hope you guys will stick around with me because all of these things are important to me. I've had a hard time as an artist sticking to one format, so I do a lot of things. I'm now, if you caught the episode yesterday, the beginning of the episode yesterday, I'm in a certificate program for film directing. So I am making my own content. I'm doing music for it. I'm doing as much as I can, and most of the time I do this pretty much alone. My friend Pat, who pops up sometimes, he helps me on some music stuff. Another friend of mine, Ryan, that might be here, we work on music together. And there's some good people around me, but for the most part, I do most of my projects mostly solo. So I'm hoping that I can keep a consistency with this show, with Jon Does, and still continue to work on longer form. Well, not all of it's longer form. The longest thing I've done in a narrative capacity so far has been, it's on this channel. It's the Dark John origin, a character I came up with, which was essentially, well, another friend of mine had called me Dark John one day when my inner monologue had come out, and he was like, "Wow, that was dark." I was like, Dark John. So Dark John, you see in the commercial breaks that I have, there's a bunch of Dark Johns on the channel here. And so yeah, I'm just trying to make stuff and keep you guys entertained at the same time. And I know there's going to be a difference. Some people aren't going to like the music stuff as much as the movie stuff. I'm sorry, but I hope you stick around for it, because you know, if you watch the movie stuff just to get an idea of what movie you should watch, same should go for music too. There's a lot of good music out there. Hey, Wild, weird question, man. Are you gonna cover San Diego Comic-Con coming up? That might get you views. Just trying to help. I would, but I don't have a PC set up for. You know, I will probably try to cover stuff. This is a good question. I honestly hadn't fully thought about it, but live streaming opens up so many opportunities for me. That, you know, it's my typical schedule that I've kind of set up for myself, Monday through Friday around 5 o'clock, 5 to 6 p.m. Depending on if there's a guest coming, I might push it a little further. Comic-Con would be something I should cover. I won't be there myself, but I will probably end up doing reactions to things or talking about stuff that's coming out that weekend. So, oh, I forget what weekend it's coming up. It's the 23rd, right? Um, yeah, I think it's the end of the month. Yeah, the 21st to the 23rd or 24th. So, yeah, Friday and Saturday, the only important ones. Yeah, but basically, yeah. So uh, I will I will probably do some extra episodes around then, as things come out, um, and talk about stuff coming out because I think. Oh, what was it? There was something that was just confirmed for Comic Con. I don't remember. I don't have all the information in front of me. That's a good suggestion, Derpy. I really appreciate that and expect to see me doing some reactions to news that's coming out, trailers and things like that. I'll be honest, I haven't had my ear super close to the ground on this one, but there's really only one actual comic book series that I'm really excited for, and it's been on hiatus for so long that I just kind of stopped paying attention. I know they started putting out volumes. What I'm talking about is Saga, Brian K. Vaughan's Saga. Um, I love that series so much. And I'm not an individual issue person. I just don't have the space to collect little issues as much. Um, so I'm just kind of waiting for volumes to come out. And I haven't looked into that, but hopefully there'll be something, um, in at least in that world that we hear about, or I hear about. I don't know if you guys care or not, but I heard they're gonna go out this year with the return. So yeah, well, hopefully it's a great show. Yeah, other things that I want to talk about over the course of this show too is I know I've I talked about it a little bit through this. I'm not the biggest gamer in the world, but I started gaming more in the last couple years, COVID and stuff like that. Um, and so when big titles get announced, I'll probably talk about some of that stuff too. Um, Shred some Metallica. I do want to do some live music stuff. I'm a little worried about copyright stuff with covers, particularly. Um, but I will probably do some live music stuff at some point. I want to get a little bit more comfortable with the show and the technical aspect of it. I'm still learning Streamlabs. So uh, yeah, as I feel more comfortable with the like back end, I'll probably just you'll see me having more fun, I guess. Not that I'm not having fun, but I'll feel more comfortable in running the show and doing music and stuff like that. Um, let's see. Um, oh yeah, Saga. I'm just waiting for new volumes of that to drop so I can keep up with my volume collection on that. I would rather have a bookshelf of graphic novel volumes than boxes of individual issues. I don't have space for that anymore. Although I do still have a small amount of comics. Actually, before I get too away from anything, I do want to show you guys something because I've been published in a comic book before, and I want to show you which one. Sorry, I gotta go through my Tick comics, and where is it? Oh, it's not there. Oh, that's it. Okay, I have a signed copy of it because I was a part of the crew, I guess. Heartman. David Liebhart. Are you familiar with David Liebhart? Well, he did a comic, and I did some photoshops in his comic. They're close to the end here. Which page is it? I'm trying to remember which page. Well, they're not numbered by pages, but here's some of the silly art I had done. This one. And that one. Whoa! Yeah, it was just silly. But I was featured in this comic. It's the only thing I have published so far. But hopefully I'll get to do more, direct more, release more music, all that kind of stuff. You do reviews for Stranger Things? Actually, that's a good question. I will be doing Stranger Things stuff. I stopped watching it after season 2 and re-picked it up about a week ago, and have just finished season 3 and am part way through season 4. So you'll probably get some Stranger Things stuff out of me next week. That show has gotten a lot better, in my opinion. I stopped at season 2 for a reason. Oh snap, big moves. Yeah. What do you mean silly art? That's awesome. Well, it was silly because I say silly because the art, my art style has progressed, and so it's sometimes funny to go back and see stuff you do from a long time ago. So it's silly, but it's David Liebhart, Heartman comic, and that's an aesthetic I jive with, David Liebhart stuff. That's, this might be big words here. Talk about getting guests on. That would be fun, huh? David Liebhart. I'll keep that I'll keep that next to my prayer candle. I don't have a prayer candle, but I will. I have a list of people I would like to talk to. I'll just say that. Okay, so you already watched all Stranger Things. I hope you're liking it. I think this lasts. Let's see. I think I just finished the first part of season 4, and I'm going into the second half. Which, what are they? Hour and a half? I think one episode's like an hour and a half. The other one's like 2.5 hours almost, something like that. So I do have a lot to get through. And I'll probably do that this weekend. So, well, not probably. I will do that this weekend. If not tonight, tomorrow I'll probably finish it. All I can say is episode 9 you're not ready for. Okay, let's go. Let's freaking go. It was a show I stopped watching because season 2. I'll admit, I'm the type of person that thought it shouldn't have even gotten a season 2. I thought season 1 was just like perfect, and in that 80s nostalgic way, I thought it didn't really need to get a sequel, even though a lot of like B movies from the 80s would set up sequels and like never do them. Honestly, it should have been released in theaters. That is a really good conversation too, based on what is it, guidelines for awards. Yeah, Netflix, there has been a campaign mostly against streaming stuff in the awards. I can't remember what it was. There was something that was released through Netflix or something. I think it was Netflix, and it was up for a consideration, but it was considered a made-for-TV movie, and that's kind of where streaming movies sit when it comes to that kind of stuff. So theatrical releases would definitely help some of these things. I know this is a TV show that we're talking about, but I do think there is something to be said about like, oh man, what if Obi-Wan or any of the Star Wars stuff was designed this way, where, and I think we are starting to get there. I think, if I remember correctly, The Mandalorian and some of these other ones are leading into a bigger storyline that might be capped off with a movie. I'm into that. I like that idea. I like the mixed media age that we're in, being able to do a lot of stuff. Marvel is proving that sometimes it's hard to keep up with Disney. They have 5 movies in their first 3 phases, and now they have like 7 or 8 series plus movies. I do love it. I do like the interconnectedness of things, but it is a little hard for people to totally keep up with. But yeah, let's see. Honestly, it should have been, or both parts into one movie, but it would have been almost 4 hours long. Episode 8 is like 1 hour and 40. Episode 9, 2 hours 39 minutes. So yeah. It's exciting because there's a lot of content to get through. Some of the other YouTubers that I watch have been saying, let's see, Christian Harloff. I don't know if you schmoes know the Schmo Down. He had said something about while Kenobi was airing, what do you like better, Kenobi or Stranger Things? And a lot of people were saying Stranger Things, and I think part of that was the runtime. You know, the Kenobi episodes were around half hour, little over half hour, and these Stranger Things season 4, I think every episode's over an hour long. Derby Gaming, yes, okay, yeah. Christian Harloff's I don't know him personally, but I do watch him, and I did get to go a couple of years ago. It was the year before the pandemic. We went to a free-for-all, Schmodown free-for-all in LA. It was really fun. I'm bummed that it's ending. I also am one of those people that I fell off towards the last year and a half, and it wasn't anything the Schmodown did. It was more just like so much of life was happening for me, and the pandemic, I think, was a time for me to evaluate things, and so I've spent less time watching all of the YouTube stuff. Missed the old channel. Yeah. Which the Schmoes channel or AMC or I started watching the movie talk stuff when I was living in Grass Valley, and had a lot of downtime, and started seeing John Campia stuff recommended. Watched him for a while, and kind of fell off with Jon Campia. Again, just when he left the AMC movie talk, it was Collider. It was Collider at the time, and he started doing his own thing. I watched him for a little bit. I just start picking and choosing which shows to watch, and I started watching more of the Collider stuff. And then when Christian left, just mostly Christian, and I love the people he's had on, but I've never really been beholden to like the brands that they've worked for, AMC or Collider or anything like that. But I honestly have a lot of respect for both Jon Campia and Christian Harloff. I mean, I'm only sitting here doing this now partly because of inspiration and influence from them, you know, almost a decade ago at this point. I'm not just here because of that. Like, I worked in TV broadcasting for almost a decade. I worked in news broadcasting in various roles, production assistant, which production assistant in a low budget TV station means you do everything. You do cameras, you do sound, you do, the first TV station I worked at, they were going to cross train me. I was the audio engineer, and they were going to cross train me on directing. with no raise. So one of the reasons I left. But I ended up leaving California altogether when I did that. I lived in Portland, Oregon for about 2 years. Yeah, I moved around a little bit through some of my 20s. But so I guess long story short, I'll be doing movie reviews, but I don't think it's going to be like, well, this movie came out, or like some random movie that I'd never heard of came out on Netflix last week, so I'm going to just sit down and watch it right away. I'm going to end up doing movie stuff, movie reviews of stuff that I'm watching already, stuff that I like. I'm not specifically making this a movie channel, although there's going to be a lot of movie conversations. And I mentioned I'm going to school for film directing. I will probably have some of my classmates on here just talking about random films. I love films, but I'm very picky with films at the same time. And so I would love to have an episode or a couple episodes or a segment where, I don't know, one of my classmates challenges me to watch some old classics that I'd never seen, maybe some like old silent Soviet era films, things like that. I don't know. There's a lot of options and opportunities, but I just to clarify one last time, I want this channel to be more a reflection of me and what Wild Dinosaur is, which doesn't necessarily just focus on films and TV, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's really good that I'm consuming, and so I do want to talk about stuff. So it was really exciting yesterday when all you guys, all you new people showed up to my Thor 4 non-spoiler review. I didn't expect that. I was expecting same couple of people. Hey, I'm not this is just the fact that I'm new. This is episode 8. I love the people that have been here, and it was just unexpected to have the amount of people that were here yesterday, and I just hope to do it more. And I'm trying to break off some of my I'm more practiced with behind the scenes stuff than on screen stuff, and I've only done on screen stuff as a means to an end. To, if I come up with a concept for a short or something I want to film, I'm not necessarily going to go hire somebody to go do that. I'll just do it myself. It's a little easier. Excuse me. It's a little easier to just get something done. And when I was really young, I wanted to be like a stand-up comedian, but those dreams have faded. I don't mind being in front of people and talking. I just need to be more comfortable with it, and you guys will be here for the for this ride as well, as I get more comfortable. I mean, I hope I'm not super awkward already. There's been a couple of days been a little bit tired, and I'm try not to bring that to the show either, because I want people to be excited about the things we're talking about. But wow, it's 5:30 already. I've been going for a half hour already. I'm gonna do a quick commercial break and come back to do my main segment, which is ranking the MarsVolta's records. They have a new record coming out. They just released a new single today, actually, and just prepping for the new album release and their tour. I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite my order of my favorite MarsVolta records. So we'll talk about that when we get back from the break. My favorite sport is crying.
facilities. And I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Aren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. So you get two bits of Dark John through those commercials. Yeah, I am an insane person, and I just come up with dumb characters and then film them all. Those commercials proved my point of I just come up with something and just decided to do it instead of getting too many other people involved. Partly because of just embarrassment. It's sometimes hard to come up with an idea and pitch it to a person without being like, what the fuck are you trying to do? All right. So now that we're back, I have a lot to talk about. MarsVolta for a long time was one of my favorite bands. They still rank up there. The musicians within the band, I follow Omar and Cedric from At the Drive-In to all of their other solo stuff. Oh man, there's so many projects that Omar particularly has been a part of. And I know Cedric's been doing random stuff as well. But I always really appreciated MarsVolta. I like the prog rock element of stuff. Their contemporaries at the time, like Coheed and Cambria, weren't. I wasn't as big on. MarsVolta was a band that I would listen to on repeat. You know, I'll get into my album, my favorite albums, but you know, there was some of them I just throw on repeat all day long and just listen to them and just absorb them. And Omar's guitar playing influenced my guitar playing a lot. Back in the day, I had guitars similar to his. I forget the model name. I had an Ibanez that looked kind of like a Gibson SG, but it was black and it was like $200 or $300 guitar. And then I had a Jet King, an Ibanez Jet King for a while. All kind of just influenced from Omar's guitar playing. And you can hear it in some of my older stuff. My website has links to my music on Bandcamp and Spotify and YouTube and stuff like that. There's more music than has been put out on this channel. It's not all as produced as some of my newer stuff. And oh man, I have 2 records that I'm working on. One of them has been in the works for 3 years or so. I almost sold my guitars off a couple of years ago and was like, you know, you never did the album you wanted to make. You never did do that. So don't sell your gear until then. And in that time frame that I decided not to sell my guitars, I put out a couple of singles and am working on 2 records. So I've been pretty busy, and that was a good decision for me to not sell off my guitar amp or my guitars. I have more guitars now than I did previously, but I can talk about those on another episode. But let's get started with the MarsVolta, because like I said before the break, they have a new record coming out soon. I don't know if there's a date for that yet, but they have released 2 singles today or yesterday, last night at midnight, today, Friday, whatever you want to call it. They released a new single. Was it Graveyard Love? I believe it's called. And it's an interesting track. I think I like the first track a little bit more, Black Light Shine. But I think I will save the discussion for the new stuff for when the album comes out. And I'm gonna be going to see them in October in LA, in Los Angeles. So I'll be talking about them a little bit more. But let's get into my ranking. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Um, and I want to preface this with I don't hate any of these albums. None of them are god awful. There are just some that I feel are better than others. And the first one, the bottom of the barrel, the bottom of the list, Ampu Texture. It's not a bad record at all. It's just for me, I like to absorb a record, a full record. I like singles. We live in an age of singles. I put out singles myself. But I love listening to a record all the way through. It's just, don't pay attention to anything, throw in some headphones, go for a walk, or just lay down, or, sit in your living room and just absorb. And this record I can't listen to all the way through as much as the other ones. There are some standout tracks. I think a lot of people I know that are fans of TheMarsVolta would probably point to The Day of the Baphomets as being one of their best songs. I also really like this song, and I think it was done well. I don't know. I don't think it was official, but somebody had taken footage from Fantasia and recut it. What's the segment called? On Bald Mountain, is that what it's called? They'd taken that segment from Fantasia and cut it to this song. I always really liked watching that video. And then their big single Vesera Eyes I'm a riff guy. I like riffs. I like cool riffs. Omar usually shoots out pretty good riffs. My favorite guitar players are mostly riff guys. Jimmy Page, Omar, they've got those good heavy riffs. When this record came out, it might have been this one or the next one, but my brother was living in Humboldt at the time, and in Humboldt they did I forget. Almost every place I've lived in does one of these, but I always forget which day. There's first Friday or last Friday, or first Thursday or last Thursday. Every city I've lived in has a version of this, where it's just like the old town or the downtown sections closed down for cars or traffic, and then they will set up booths and just have local vendors, or all the art galleries are open and you can just roll through and just check stuff out, and people are out and about and doing cool stuff. And in Humboldt, this one year I actually met Jeff Jordan, who is the artist for this one. I think he did two. I think he also did Octahedron and maybe Bedlam and the Bedlam and Goliath. But I did get to meet him for a couple minutes, and that was really cool, until it was cut short by an unfortunate circumstance. But so this would be Ampu Texture would be my least favorite of the TheMarsVolta records. Again, it's not a bad record. I just listen to specific songs off of it, as opposed to run through the whole record like I enjoy doing. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, people especially other TheMarsVolta fans probably won't like my list. I'm probably gonna get roasted for some of this, but I don't really care, because art is subjective, and we're only here to talk about what we do and we don't like, not telling other people what they should or shouldn't like. Yep. This might be regarded as one of their best records, and to me, I don't like it as much as their other stuff. Francis the Mute is a good record. It's a really good record. And it used to be higher on my list. Man, I I first heard about MarsVolta in 2004. I just graduated from high school, and I didn't listen to At the Drive-In when they were out, but I've been around for the release of almost all of their records, like paying attention. So this album came out after I started paying attention, and this was the first. Oh man, I've seen them 3 times, and I think if I remember the first time I saw them, I'm terrible with dates. The first time I saw them, I think was during this record, and I saw them. Was it San Francisco or Berkeley? I've seen Omar in San Francisco twice and Berkeley twice. Is that right? Yes, the first time I saw them was at the Berkeley High School, which doubles it as a community center, and it was during this record tour. I used to love this record a lot. The only problem is there's hindsight of time. There's more records that have been released, and they have moved past a certain area of music that I was more into, the lingery. I would never call them a jam band because they're not that, but they had a habit of making things longer, which works. I'm not in that place anymore. I don't really want to listen to a ton of just lingery music. I do like stuff at this current stage in my life a little more straight to the point. That's why I'm not a big Fish or Grateful Dead fan. I'm not gonna get into the hate on any of that stuff. Like what you like. But Fish, in every Fish song I've heard, they didn't know how to end it. I'm sure I'll get roasted for that comment too, but whatever. So Francis the Mute is it's in the number 6 position. They have 6 full-length records and an EP, and the EP is on my list, so there's a total of 7. Ampu Texture would be 7th place currently, and I reserve my right to change these at any time, just because stuff hits differently. There's stuff on this list that is higher than it used to be, and I just went through this week and listened to all of the records again for the first time in a really long time, listening to everything all the way through, and Francis the Mute just doesn't do it for me as much as it used to. There's some great music on here, do not get me wrong. Miranda, that Ghost isn't holy anymore, is probably my top favorite track on this, and that one also has a really long intro and outro. So I know I'm kind of hypocritical in that thought process, but the core part of the song itself it's beautiful. I love that song. I think I was trying to do covers of it for a while. And if I remember correctly, when the album first came out, the last track was just one track, and then they did Scab Dates, the live record, and I think they just broke it up into like a ton of different songs. I read somewhere that they only got paid to do an EP and basically released a full length, and that was one of their ways to get around it, is have like a 35-minute track at the end, which it's a whole record to itself. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like once they changed up, and this is just a dumb thing on my end, once they changed up the actual like breaking it up of the tracks on the record, on the track listing on the back, or at least Scab Dates had it like, part 1, part 2. I don't remember every version of, and they title them as something. I'm forgetting the final track name, but then they cut it up into a bunch of parts. And honestly, for me, it's kind of just like, hey, just leave it one song and like surprise me. Let me figure out that it's 35 minutes. But that's just me. So it's the lingering parts of this record that over time that taste for me has changed, and I'm just not there as much anymore. And so that's one of the main reasons why this is lower on my list. Number 5, Octahedron. I know people didn't like this record when it came out, and I do really like this record. It was labeled as their acoustic album, even though it's not like an acoustic record. It's their version of acoustic, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I didn't feel super misled, but I think it was an energy shift from previous records to stuff that was a little slower. This used to be lower on my list too, and has moved up. One of the covers that I have still been practicing is since we've been wrong. And another standout is forgive me, I might mispronounce some of these track names because I'm bad at that. And MarsVolta has some weird names, but Halo of Nimbuddles. Those two tracks have always been highlights for me on this one. So, moving along, my next favorite. This is in the number 4 position, so we're starting to get there. We're starting to get top 3 almost. Bedlam in the Goliath. I always say that. Bedlam in the Goliath. It's the Bedlam in Goliath. Man, I remember when this album came out, there was talk I think this was when Thomas Pridgen, their new drummer, came on. They've gone through a couple of drummers, and honestly, I like all the drummers for various reasons. And Thomas Pridgen, I thought, was a good boost of energy, but different than the other kinds of drumming we got, which made it it felt a little bit more standard rock than experimental or drummers trying to do something. I'm not saying Thomas Pridgen is a bad drummer by any means. It just, each drummer brought something different to the group, and you could feel it here. There are songs I listen to more than others off this record. And I think 2 of my favorites that have remained my favorites since the record came out were Elena, and oh god, all right, I'm gonna try this. Ouroboros. I hope I got that. I've always been terrible at track titles and stuff like that. Names, language, just that's something I'm working on. So, but the Bedlam and Goliath, there was a lot of stuff. I think there was the story of the Ouija board that Omar had purchased, and it started haunting the record or something like that. I might have a connection to somebody that's been involved with the MarsVolta, and maybe if he's nice, and maybe if people ask enough, might be able to get him on to ask some questions. Hopefully, it's just another what if scenario for potential guests. So, moving along. My third favorite, and this is actually, I'll start spoiling something a little bit here. This is actually my second favorite record. I stated before I have the Tremulant EP here in my list, but this one, Nocturniquet, is my second favorite full length record. This is one that I will listen to all the way through. Yeah, I can listen to this record all the way through. But there are some standout songs for me. Aegis and I think my favorite track, my absolute favorite track off of this record is in Absentia. I've listened to that song just by itself so many times. Actually, when I was re-listening to all the MarsVolta stuff this last week, and I got to this record, I listened to it multiple times before I moved on, and I didn't do that with any of the other records. It's not for lack of anything else on the other records or songs. It's just I love this one so much. It is this like kind of noisy soundscape, really reverbed out drums, and there's a chaoticness to it. And then when the song kind of comes to itself there at the end, it just grooves and is beautiful. And I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that type of song coming from this band originally. And I do also want to say that I've loved MarsVolta. I know a lot of people say, oh, they're a band without rules, but I just see them as people with influences that move them to new places. And as I've grown as an artist, I feel like the music they've put out I've progressed with at the same time. And it wasn't because I was listening to their music, it was because of where I was at my life, and it also kind of lined up with what they were doing. And I've always really loved In Absentia as a track. So all right, here we are, getting down to the last bit. I will throw this one out here. This is the MarsVolta. Their first EP came out in 2002, the Tremulant EP. There's 3 tracks on here, and I like all 3 tracks a lot. I think this is their easiest thing to digest, just because there's only 3 tracks. I mean that not in a sense of like musicianship, but just literally it's the easiest, quickest thing to listen to. Aside from singles or anything like that. But Unique Provocateur has been one of my favorite MarsVolta songs of all time since I first heard it. Man, I used to have a record player. I think my friend Brandon has all my records. And this was part of my collection for sure. I think almost all MarsVolta records on vinyl. In their original pressings. I should get those back if I can. I just need a place to put them. But the Tremulant EP is definitely my second favorite of all of the MarsVolta stuff. And it just leaves, without question, just because there's no other records left, the Louse in the Comatorium. This changed me as a music listener and as a guitar player, and it was really formative for me when I first heard it. I was saying earlier, Francis the Mute's a little long in the tooth. This one has elements of that, but it all comes together where it needs to. And I really, really love this record. There are almost every song I will listen to. The whole record's a standout for me, but I will say, the standout tracks that I would say, I tried to write 2 tracks per record just to give some balance, and a little bit of like, if you don't want to go through a full, if you're new to MarsVolta, you've never listened to them and you want to check out some of their stuff, start with some of these songs first. And I try to do something that's, you know, a little bit more rock oriented or a little bit more acoustic, just variations in song styles. Per tracks. And it's not because I'm trying to, I genuinely like these songs, all of them. But there was a reason why I did try to do at least 2 standout tracks per record. And I will say the 2 standouts for me are okay, this one is actually the hardest one for me out of all of the songs that I've spit out. Ariatarka, I think it's called. Man, I'm so bad at names. I apologize. I mean, the first 2 tracks, and Circuitry's ESP, those were formative songs for me as well. But I always go back to Ariatarka, and the other one is Televators from that first record, a slower acoustic track. I just come out of my Led Zeppelin phase, or I was still kind of in it when I heard this record, and to me, it embodied what I liked about Led Zeppelin records. Is you get a blend of slow, fast, like acoustic, electric, synth stuff. Yeah, there was just, it's all over the place. Not all over the place, not super sporadic. The songs within them can feel sporadic, but the record flows smoothly together. And Televators was one song that I always wanted to see live, and I never got to see them play it live. That and In Absentia, but I think there's only one live version on like YouTube of that track. But anyways, the Deloused in the Comatorium is my favorite MarsVolta record. I still put it on. I still listen to it all the way through. I will never get tired of that. It's just a matter of carving out the time of day to, you know, spend listening to a full record. It's not always easy, which is why I get people loving singles and just absorbing singles these days. But I still love a full record. So that's it, guys. That is my MarsVolta album ranking. Again, just wanted to come back to this because they got new material coming out. They have two singles and a tour on the way, and I'm super excited about it. And I hope other people are excited too. Or if you don't know MarsVolta, check them out and see how you feel about them. They're a band I feel like changes. I always use Radiohead as an example. Radiohead and the Rolling Stones are another good example of a band that's probably a better example than Radiohead. But the Rolling Stones, you know, they've been around for 50 plus years, and every song sounds the same. Not exactly the same, but you know what you get with a Rolling Stone record. And you know, 50 years on, they're still, there's some dogs playing with toys out there. 50 years on, they're still playing the same songs. If MarsVolta was doing this 56 years on, their songs would sound different, like next to each other. They could still roll together, but each album is different. Each album has a different set of instrumentation. Some of them have horns. Some of them have other things. But you know, they're just, to me, a well-rounded band of punk rock kids that, you know, they had something to say. They were interested in music, and didn't define themselves by just being one type of band, which is again why you have Omar doing so many side projects and stuff like that too. Which, just a bonus round, well, there's should I do an Omar list sometime? Bosnian Rainbows is a really good side project. They only have one record. And then I think my favorite Omar Rodriguez Lopez solo record. There's a ton of them. It's probably Cryptomnesia with Zach Hill and whatnot. Almost could have been a MarsVolta record, but anyways, that is my ranking on MarsVolta records. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna get going here. I'm gonna go get some food maybe and chill out for the rest of my night. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. Look out for my Stranger Things talks. We have Pat back again next week, and we'll do some commentary on one of my other music videos. I have no friends on this planet. Pat helped me with more than just the video production on that. He actually, I think, started the track, synth and drums, and I co-opted it. So we'll do a behind the scenes sometime next week of that. So yeah, and again, last thing before I go, check out wilddinosaur.com. Up here at the top, I got stuff for sale there. I got my merch shop, and I guess one last time I'll show you guys my stickers that I have. These aren't through the shop, so you're gonna have to direct message me if you want these. But I have these vinyl sticker packs with this one. This is my No Friends on This Planet design that's on my t-shirt currently, which you can get this t-shirt on my store. There's Wish You Were Here. So you get that in focus. That's the best it's getting right now. And then Family Vacation, which is probably my most used design around. So if you guys want some of these, I have these sticker packs for sale. Direct message me. I think I'm gonna do them about $8 for the pack. They're vinyl stickers, and there's 5 stickers in each pack. So I hope you guys reach out. They might be a little bit more if I have to ship them, but anyways. And the last thing I want to say before I go is, if you guys have been paying attention to U.S. news, you probably know there's some things going on in this country, and I don't want to get too political on it, but I do think it's really important to help women with their reproductive rights. And one of the places I think you can help out the most is donating to Planned Parenthood. And I have a link in the description for that. So if you are feeling like you want to help out, you thought about your mom or your sister, your aunts, or, any of the women in your life, partners. Yeah, Planned Parenthood is a good place to help support their decisions. So anyways, hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Not sure if it's 5 or 6 yet. Follow my social media. I post stories usually at what time the show is gonna run. 5 or 6 is about the time, but hope you guys check me out on Monday. Talk to you guys later. Bye.